Lamar is there. Coach Mangini is here. Welcome back, Coach. Brew, you said you wanted to see Lamar, and there he is doing some pull-ups. Do you like this?
Do I like it?
Here we go.
I got 2 words to say, Coach. The box!
No.
Wow!
No,
An
this
off-season box. Look, I love this because it shows leadership. It shows everybody you're bought into the new regime. And, I mean, I don't think they're practicing today, but you need to learn, you know, there's a new system he actually has to learn too. So that's important. I think I wouldn't have written him off if he wouldn't have been here. But I think this is great, and I think he needs to be there to learn the new system.
Before Coach makes his triumphant return to the show, can I just ask you one follow-up question? So what if he bounces after today?
He showed that he's in step with the new leadership.
Okay.
I came to say hi to Jesse and get the playbook. And
Yeah, you don't want to be too available.
I'm going home to study it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
I'm
right.
going home to study it. So, yeah, I'm good.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't like it. I really don't like it.
You don't like him being there?
being there?
I just think okay, what was wrong with the last X amount of years? Why suddenly are we now at OTAs? Were they not important last year? Were they not important the year before?
Oh, Coach, this is...
Really?
Well, what do you want to do?
Did you not like John Harbaugh? Like, what was the reason you had? Why is this suddenly important now when it hasn't been important
But it
any
would
other
be
year?
more important if there's a new coach.
Right.
I think you
Or
can,
if you were trying to win the Super Bowl, might be important then too.
So hold on.
Maybe not.
So wait.
Or maybe if you were the MVP, maybe your team was coming off a bad season. Maybe like I understand the transition, and as a new head coach, I would want my quarterback to be there. Right. But as an old head coach, or a head coach trying to win a Super Bowl, or a team trying to win a Super Bowl, or if I was one of the highest paid players in the league, I think all those things are important. Why now?
Maybe Coach's mom or someone sat him down and said just that. Lamar, you need to start going. Patrick Mahomes goes, he's got a few Super Bowls.
Yeah.
You know,
a lot.
Matt Stafford went, he got a Super Bowl.
Well, Matt Stafford's hanging out in the immortal chamber. Yeah. Fair.
I mean, like, you know, maybe somebody got through to him.
So I think
I hear what you're saying.
I think Coach, I feel like you are being retroactively defending Harbaugh almost. Like that your frustration with him being there now is less about him being there now and more the fact that he wasn't there consistently previously, which I think is legit. My question, though, is the one that I, somewhat jokingly said to Brew, which is, I think this is very positive that he's there. I think it would have been hugely problematic if he no-showed it, because it is a new coach and it is a new system, and he is hoping to get a new contract, and this is the first time you can ever say he's coming off a bad year, because he's never had a bad year. For all those reasons, I thought he had to be there. It's also a reason, and people can say I'm being unfair, he has to stay. I will give whatever credit he's getting today, to me, gets removed almost entirely if he bounces.
All right, let's break this down, because right now we've got some strange takes coming from all sides. And honestly, I like this because it's genuinely messy right now. This is genuinely messy. And it's messy for a whole bunch of different reasons. I totally get why Ravens fans, Lamar Jackson and Baltimore fans, have issues with how the media talks about them. And I take issue with it too, because I think I offer very fair, unbiased, defensive-minded takes on Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. So I hate being lumped into that criticism. But I'm watching this whole thing unfold and I'm smiling, because I'm thinking to myself, Lamar shows up, and now Mangini says, it's still not good enough. And it's like, oh my gosh, he's doing the exact thing you criticized him for not doing in the past, and now you're asking why? This is where the logic completely breaks down. And I talk about logic all the time, the importance of logic. This is why just because you know a lot about something, whether it's football or anything else, doesn't mean you know how to steer conversations at the highest level. There are definitely people who can navigate conversations better than a lot of NFL players, quarterbacks, and coaches. That doesn't mean I know more about football than they do. They clearly know more than I ever will. And yet, I understand the art of conversation. I understand the art of logic and how these things work better than them. That doesn't make me better than them. And it doesn't make them better than me. But man, Jeannie's take right here really shows you the importance of understanding how to handle a conversation, and why you need multiple kinds of people in the room. You need football experts. You need conversation experts. You need people who might even be a little biased because they throw interesting topics into the fire. And then you need someone else who can now steer it and try to land the plane. That's honestly what makes these shows great, and why a lot of shows that are just players or just coaches can be kind of boring. They end up not really making sense. You understand the X's and O's better than anyone watching this video, but what you're saying, I don't know, it doesn't really add up. And when you have someone who only understands the art of conversation but doesn't really understand the X's and O's, then you get pure fan takes like, the Jets are winning the Super Bowl this year. And it's like, sure, whatever you say. That's the mess we're in right now with Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. And I think about these little mental traps that can trip you up. By Lamar showing up now, it's potentially saying, well, maybe I was wrong for not showing up in the past. And that's what Mangini is trying to emphasize. But here's how I like to think about it, through relationships. Anyone who's been in multiple relationships knows you learn from the mistakes you've made. You made mistakes. They made mistakes. Then you get into a new relationship, and there's almost a self-protection mechanism where you don't want to make certain changes in the new relationship, because if you do, it feels like proof that you were wrong before, right? For example, if I was bad at communication, which is obviously not true, I think we all know I talk a lot, but if I was bad at communication with an ex, and then in a new relationship I make the effort to text good morning and good night, then doing that feels like proof that I was wrong in the last relationship. Whereas if I don't do it, I can tell myself, that's not why the previous relationship ended. That has nothing to do with it. And you end up backing yourself into a corner. But someone like Lamar is allowed to grow and mature and evolve and understand. And I do think there's a big difference now, Harbaugh coaching and mentoring a new era, the way this past season ended. I'm on the record saying that I want these guys to show up. If you're Lamar Jackson, you're the leader of this team. You're Lamar Jackson. The weight you carry, everybody knows. Everybody knows when you're on the field or in the building, and when you're not. Everybody knows. From the maintenance workers to the owner, to the player who might never see the field, to the player who's struggling just to make the practice squad, everybody knows. And it does matter. It really does matter. And we can say, oh, well, Lamar still balls out and shows up on game day. I'm just telling why. Oh, you, as a player who has been fortunate enough to be a leader on a team, and also absolutely not a leader on a team, the guy who's hanging on just to stay on the roster. The players and the coaches set the tone. You follow. You absolutely follow. And you want to be better. We see this. They even do a pretty good job of showing this on Hard Knocks. I remember specifically with J.J. Watt, I think it was when he was with the Cardinals, I believe. You could just see some of the younger players interacting with him, learning from him. You could see that he was setting the tone for practice, the energy. It's just obvious. It's as clear as possible. I remember one of my final years of playing, when I was out there with a few younger guys. I could sense them, it was really cool. Their eyes were locked on me. We were doing a couple of drills, and I was bawling out in that drill. And you could see that they were just like, whoa. I made them say whoa. And I'm not a guy where every time I stepped on the field I was wowing everyone. But I could feel it. They were younger, up and coming. And I thought, oh wow, this is a cool full circle moment for me. I'm the guy out there now showing the way. I'm the leader. I'm showing them how it's done, the work and the effort to put in. I loved drills. I actually loved practice a lot because you got to work on things I love to do, specific things. During a game, you don't always get to do what you love because the game has to come to you. Oh, there were a lot of drills I loved because it felt more like play, more fun. And I would go hard at it. So I was letting everyone know, this is what you do. And I wasn't even doing it on purpose. I wasn't trying to be like, I'm the leader, I'm going to show you guys how to do it. It was just what I did. So I was leading by example. And so, these things matter. These things matter. It's so important, especially for the young guys, especially for the guys who are new to the league at 22, 23, 24. it matters. And that's why I push it so much for someone like Lamar. So yeah, I think it was wrong in the past, and I think it's right now. Because someone in the comments when we talked about this before said, oh, would this stop Mark Andrews from dropping the ball? Would it stop someone else from fumbling? And it's like, you're missing the point. You're missing the point. 1, maybe, I don't know. And 2, it's about what you're building. It's the culture you're building. I think that's something people really overlook. The culture, the resilience you need with your team, the community you need with your team, the family sense you need with your team, the connection with coaching you need with your team. I think a lot of people overlook that because a lot of people have only played a sport where you play with them for a couple of months and then that's it. Maybe it's a dad who coached you. You're playing with a couple of friends. You had a game once a week or something. And that was it. But when you've actually played with the same group of guys year after year, the same coaches year after year, you've traveled with them, been on buses and planes, been away from your friends and family, yeah, you realize that this stuff matters. When I was younger, I had to live with host families and stuff. I'm living with a bunch of strangers. But I had my team with me. I had my teammates with me. And that stuff matters. And yeah, it starts in these moments. It starts in these moments honestly probably more than anything else, because this is when there's no pressure. This is when you get to have fun. I think about certain teams I played for where it was more like a tournament-based team. Less about a full season, more about practicing and working and growing for the next couple of months, and then we're going, kind of like Olympic-style stuff. You create those bonds, that family, that culture well before it's time to actually compete. Because that's when you're able to have a little more fun. That's when things are a little looser, a little lighter. You also get to learn who everyone is. And then that foundation, when it is time to compete, when it is time to go after it, you have that foundation. That's what I said for Lamar. Even if you're not really going to play, do some of the drills, whatever. Even if you just show up, even if you're just in flip-flops hanging out, making your rounds and talking to people, that goes a long way. So I do love this. From Lamar. I will be disappointed if he doesn't show up for the rest of it, because I just think your presence matters so much. I am a presence-driven person. That's my love language, quality time. If I'm going through something tough, I remember one time I was going through a real moment. My mom asked me, "What do you want from me?" This was when I was younger. I said, "Just be here with me. You don't have to say anything or do anything. Just hang out. Just be with me." Same thing with my close friends. Just be by my side. I'm a very presence-driven person. And it matters. You've got to show up. You've got to show up. So this matters to me. I can give the benefit of the doubt when you're a younger passer. And I think even other players understand that. If you're talking about someone like Aaron Rodgers, I think players can understand, yeah, well, Aaron's older, that's a little different. I think that's almost its own separate category. Even though I'm on the record saying I want you to be there, I still think you should be there. I don't love it, but I think the team could understand a little more. But when you're still in your absolute bona fide prime, and you're trying to compete, trying to win, you're Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford, I want you to show up, man. I want you to show up. It just matters. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Lamar Jackson and the Balt? I'm more Ravens, the fact that he's actually there, and the conversations around it? I know some fans are frustrated with how the conversations unfold and the fact that we're even talking about it. But these are topics for discussion, man. It just is what it is. These are the topics for discussion, and they're being discussed because the stakes are high. And time is running out for Lamar. Just like it's running out for Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, etc., etc. So it's like, are you going to win? Are you going to compete? Are you going to be the best version of yourself? Yes or no? And if the answer is yes, you do these things. You do. It's that straightforward. It's that simple. It really is. So let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you be part of it. I want to build something we all enjoy, feel connected to, something we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.